Okay, guys, I think we're about ready to get started here. And first of all, I want to thank everyone for coming. And I'm going to start with the state of the city here in just a few minutes. But before that, I would like to invite my good friend and the city of Batesville's good friend to come up here, and Mayor Jonas Anderson from Cave City. Just give him a good welcome.
Thank you, Mayor. Yeah, sorry to impose on your fish fry. So Rick called me maybe yesterday and said, I'm going to have my state of the city, and you're welcome to come down and eat some fish with us. And I said, well, actually, if you're going to have a bunch of your city people assembled, I said I would like to come down and say a couple things. And I told him, I said I'll try to get through it without getting choked up about it. Y'all know what we've been through just north of here, and it has not been pleasant. As I told people, we got punched in the nose pretty hard. We've never taken a direct hit from anything, especially an EF3, basically EF4 tornado. We've had so much help from the state. Down to the governor giving me her personal cell phone, and literally at 11 p.m., she's texting me updates, asking how we're doing, if I need anything. It's that kind of accessibility that we've had. Within a couple hours, we had 40 state troopers on the ground. We had the National Guard. We had 14 law enforcement agencies at least show up, including you guys. Billy Quarter and I were just talking. We literally had a track hoe or some piece of equipment. We had one of those pieces of equipment from Batesville sitting at our city limits so quickly after it happened that we weren't even ready to allow people into the city yet. But you guys already had a piece of equipment there. We hadn't even called for it. It was just automatic. And so in typical Rick Elumbaugh fashion, he dispatched pretty much the entire city of Batesville to our aid before I could even ask for it. And I think it speaks a lot to not only his character and his friendship, but also everybody in this room. A couple names that come to mind. I'm going to leave a bunch of people out, obviously, but like Jason Jones and obviously Billy Quarter. I know Billy Quarter works for y'all, but him and Jennifer come home to us every night. So anyway, so we claim them as Cave City people. And then David Justice. I went to school with him. We were a few years apart, and I was walking down West Center, which is one of the worst hit. I mean, it was absolutely terrible. And I'm looking at our water and sewer guys, and they're fighting some kind of mess or whatever. And I look over, and there's David Justice walking up to me, and your water and sewer crew, and your street crew, and just everybody. And so, y'all, it's absolutely overwhelming. So, all I want to do is just say thank you. There's no good way to adequately say thank you. Y'all have always been a best friend to the city of Cave City, even in normal times. But during a disaster, you see a lot of the character of people. And I don't know what Rick's going to say about the state of the city of Batesville, but I can tell you from my perspective, the state of the city is unbelievable. And so, from the bottom of my heart, on behalf of all the people in Cave City that are still picking up and are going to be picking up, we just want to say thank you for what you've done, and also thank you for what I know that you're going to be doing with us as we kind of go down this road over the next weeks and months. So with that, I want to reintroduce obviously terrific friend of mine. I actually took swim lessons from Rick Elumbaugh when I was little. Believe it or not, at the Mickey Mouse pool, him and Margaret were giving swim lessons, and I don't know how old I was, probably 8 or something like that. And I kid you not, it was Rick Elumbaugh that was there telling me to kick, and don't do this. And now here we are together, and it just goes to show you never know how God's going to weave people together and how he's going to build relationships together that'll get you through a super hard time down the road. So please, I know y'all love this guy, and we certainly do. Rick Elumbaugh, your fine mayor of Batesville.
Absolutely. Mayor, thank you so much for the kind introduction there. And like I said, he's a true friend. And he said he's probably about 6. I think he was about 18 or 21 taking those swimming lessons. So anyway, thank you guys for coming out. And I told my my city council, I was texting them the other day, tell them, don't forget the fish fry, don't forget I was begging them to come. But, you always, when you have food, it's a lot easier to sit through a long speech or whatever. So anyway, with that being said, and I don't know where my firemen are. I know, Alan, I've got you here. So thank you. But I know Mark McCullum is out today. He's on vacation. Of course, it's spring break, guys. Everybody loves a spring break, and everybody deserves that. But I know we've got some special guests here. We've got the chamber. And if you would, please stand up. Thank you. Thank you for our partnership with the city. And I have some former city council members here. Former city council members, if you would, please stand up. Appreciate these guys. And since we don't have that many firemen here, just to keep everybody's attention, I have chained the doors so nobody can leave. So anyway, we'll go ahead and get started here. And this year, the focus is going to be on the employees. I had each employee to maybe send me a little bit of information about what goes on in your departments. And believe me, guys, I could probably take one department and I could probably talk an hour about one department, but we have tried to condense it. And we got a few names mentioned in here, but it's not that I cannot mention every one of you, but I just want to show our appreciation. So anyway, I'm going to start. Greetings, and thank you for joining myself and our city councilman here and for this State of the City address. And I am very grateful, humbled, for being and able to serve as your mayor for the last 18 years. This is year 19. Randy Palmer and I were talking a while ago. He said, you've been here before I was, 32 years at the dadgum old Mickey Mouse pool, so that dates me back there. I said, yeah, if they'd paid me retirement but for those 32 years, maybe I could be sitting on a beach somewhere. But anyway, a lot of friendships have been made over those years. But like I said, one thing I truly appreciate is my family for their continued love and support during this time, because so many times, as most of you do know, as employees, the city of Batesville operates 24/7. So you're not with your families every night, every evening, and that's the same as a mayor. Sometimes you do not get to attend events that you would like to. Thank goodness we're empty nesters and I don't have to go to ball games, but I do have grandkids that are coming up. But like I said, I'm greatly honored to be serving as the mayor. And this year, I'm going to focus, like I said, on our valued employees. You guys make things happen. 24/7, you guys are there. And just like Mayor Anderson was saying, as soon as that tornado hit, I had employees calling me, what can I do? And my answer was, go. And so they did. So thank you. I know Brent Gleghorn, I visited with him, Johnny Abbott, and a number of you. Mark McCullum had called. I'd missed his call. A lot of things was happening. So thank you guys for answering the call of duty to our friends in Cave City. All right, I'm going to start with animal control. And they're small in numbers, but it is run by Ross Nelson. He's been with the city since May of 2014, and then he became the full-time animal control officer in 2018. And there he has Christina Brogdon. She serves as the assistant animal control officer, and Faye Brinkley is the current office manager. They wear a lot of hats at the animal control. They had, just like last year, they had 2,190 calls. They impounded 453 animals, and they rehomed 154 animals. And they have challenges like everyone else, but they strive for excellence there. They have teamed up with, hopefully this year, they're going to start actually being able to administer microchips in 2025. And also they're teaming up with Lyon College. So hopefully they can get some volunteer work with them. And some of the challenges and risks for the department include the increase in feral cat populations, new strains of parvo, and overall public image of this department. And to overcome some of these, Ross and his staff are working with community engagement, not only to educate pet owners, but the importance of vaccinations and sterilization, but also proven their public image. Now I'm going to move on to code enforcement. Of course, this is a very important agency that we do have here, and that is run by Mr. Chad McClure, and he started in 1997, and he is assisted part-time with electrical inspector Tim Conyers. I appreciate these guys' service. They do a great job, but they are very busy. They have activities such as building permits, plan reviews, construction inspections. They issued 156 permits last year with over a $15 million investment in our community. So that's very important. If you don't have building going on in your community, you're a dying community. And we have had lots of building in this community, from commercial to individual homes. And of course, apartments. We're getting to see a big influx of apartments, but after the housing study that Ms. Crystal Johnson led and her team, it shows that we need apartments, we need single homes. Other activities, new development activities that Planning and Zoning Commissioners putting in many hours, along with several public hearings, working with citizens' requests for rezoning, new plats, lot splits, and conditional use permits. Taking on amendments of the subdivision regulation, along with the complete review of the comprehensive land use map, originally adopted in 2008, and that's a huge task. This work included 11 rezoning of properties, four new plats, 1 lot split, and 1 conditional use permit. Code enforcement also issued 248 neighborhood code inspections, notifications, and citations for issues such as tall grass, non-operating vehicles, illegal travel trailers, trash and junk in yards, and healthy and sanitary conditions, and also improper trash containers. So you can see they've got a huge task with only 1.5 in that office. We could probably need to beef that up a little bit, but we also have challenges with the budget, and we have to live within our means. Now let's move on to the Batesville Fire Department. That department is led by Chief Mark McCullum. Like I said, it is spring break, and I think he's on Petit Jean Mountain, so beautiful day to be there. He's been with the fire department over 23 years, and he was promoted to chief in January of 23. He has 12 full-time firefighters and 20 volunteer and relief drivers. And today they had they've had 630 calls, which included 95 fires, 7 outside the cities. And that's one thing that we do. We help our neighbors, just like we did the city of Cave City. If there's a fire in Southside, Oil Trough, if there's a rescue, these guys go. They don't call me, they go. They assist our neighbors. Also, they operate the rescue truck. This rescue truck, we are actually the only truck in Independence County that we staff 24/7. So if there is a wreck, there's an accident, I think Pleasant Plains does some of this, but we go. We don't call, we don't ask, we go to these rescues. And it's a very important part of what these firemen do on a daily basis. And also, one thing that I'm extremely proud of is that they maintain their Class 2 rating, which is very important, especially if you have insurance inside the city of Batesville. That is a 2 rating, and that helps greatly on your insurance rate, because everybody knows how expensive they are today, so every little bit helps. The other thing let's talk about is the Batesville Police Department, our public safety. Cannot stress enough about our public safety, from fire to police. That is led by John Scarborough. And he started when we revamped our police department, the city police department, in 2015, but he's promoted to chief in May of last year, in 2024. And he is doing a great job, and we greatly appreciate him. And they have had very many tasks to perform. They've had many hours of training. And I think looking down here, the department almost completed 4,000 hours of training, and patrol officers were also certified in crisis intervention, which is very crucial today, especially with a lot of our mental health individuals that they have to work with sometime pretty much on a daily basis, and that's a lot of challenges they have. They've also they have laptops in every one of their patrol cars now, thanks to our IT department, helped get that up and running, and that has been a huge asset to our patrolmen, and hopefully that's going to also benefit them and keep them safe and let them do their jobs. Public Works. I'm going to move on to that department there. Public Works this office is one of our newest development departments. In May of 2024, the administration and maintenance shop started operations in our new facility located at 60 General Street. This admin building has 9 offices, and out there we have purchasing, sanitation, water construction, street, landscaping, IT, safety, and GIS mapping and inspections. And that is led by our longtime employee, Mr. Billy Corder. And he was promoted this in 2024. And he also runs the maintenance shop as well. So greatly appreciate that crew out there. We moved into the new building out there, which had a lot of challenges in itself. 16,000 square foot, 6-bay shop, state-of-the-art shop. And like I said, we've had some growing pains and a lot of challenges. We have 2 full-time mechanics out there, and we have a 1 full-time small engine mechanic that we share with Mr. Jonathan Abbott. So we appreciate that working relationship with his department as well. And from May of 2024 to present, we have serviced or repaired over 300 pieces of equipment and city vehicles out of the 9 departments we service, including police and fire. And believe me, you mechanics, thank you for everything you do. If the budget would allow, we would probably hire 3 or 4 more. But that's just the challenge we have, but they do an excellent job. They service in fire trucks, all of the police cars, plus all the equipment we have from excavators to track holes, and of course their small engine mechanic also is going to keep all those lawnmowers up and going, and we'll talk about that department coming up. Now, one of the challenges that we do have with the police department, I mean, not the police department, but this public, when we moved out there, it's just like building a home. We don't have enough space. We don't have enough closets here. So we're in the plans right now. We have 2 5,000 square foot buildings. We have those in the budget. So hopefully these will go out to bid here in the next few months, and we can get everything organized out there in our departments. I think we've already got our street department and our water department teamed up, and they have the pads and everything ready for construction to start as soon as the bids are out. Also, I'd like to say special thanks to Billy Corder as well, because we've kind of had him on special projects as well as Jason Jones. And we have, for example, the sheltered workshop we had to move. And Billy took that from the start to the finish, and now we have that taken care of. So thank you, Billy, for that. And Jason, we've turned them loose on so many special projects. So we appreciate you guys as well as we do everyone else. Now, Jason Jones in the sanitation department, he has 11 members on his team. They are responsible for collection of approximately 4,000 residential trash containers. And they do an excellent job out there. So I greatly appreciate all of our drivers and everyone in that department. And also they have several, not just the residentials, of course, of the big blue cans, but they also service all the dumpsters, the commercial dumpsters. And gosh, I think, guys, some of you maybe start at 3 or 4 o'clock in the morning to get this thing taken care of. They also do class 4, which that's anything that's on the side of the road, from a mattress to lumber to a refrigerator. We pick that up for the city of Batesville. We have spoiled our city because we do so much for our deadgum folks. But hey, but we're glad to do it. We're glad to do it with a smile. Now, sometimes we do get abused a little bit because these contractors, well, they'll try to remodel a house and they'll have a mountain high of lumber or something out there. So we try to scold them when we can. But we greatly appreciate these guys. Now, one thing we've had, Brandon, in your group, we've just got a new grapple truck in, and that's going to be a huge asset for our class 4. So they don't have to manually pick up every piece of lumber, every mattress, and hopefully it'll prevent some injuries as well. So that thing is in. Also, we've got a new e-waste program. I know, Jason, you've been very instrumental in getting that program off the ground. Now let's move on to our street department. Johnny Cole. Johnny, please stand up. I want Johnny to stand up. He is our longest serving employee of 45 years. He also teams as an engineer because he knows where water drainage goes. I promise you, he knows how everything works in the city of Batesville. And like we always say, he knows where all the skeletons are buried in the city of Batesville. He knows the municipal. He has huge municipal memory of everything that goes on into this community. Like I said, 45 years, and we greatly appreciate you, Johnny, for everything that you do and your leadership. Now, these employees that Johnny have, they take on several tasks. And I mean, they have a lot of challenges. Drainage is probably the number one challenge that we have because, of course, we're hills and valleys and floodplains. So we do have challenges. And I always say, all these folks that have problems, drainage problems, they bought their lots in July. And now when it rains, it comes a good rain, water goes across their front yard. But that's just some of the challenges that Johnny has to deal with. Also, some folks don't even know that, hey, every stoplight that we have, Johnny's crew maintains this. And this is very important. These things don't go out just at noon every day or 8 o'clock in the morning, but sometimes they'll go out in the middle of the night. They dispatch them in the crew. They go to different schools, go to Georgia, and we're hopefully going to upgrade those systems with a camera system that will be beneficial to our PD as well, and hopefully help us catch some of the bad folks out there. They also take care of all the streets, potholes, and if we have a pothole out there, this group, I usually have to call Johnny. He said, we'll get after it. So we try to take care of that as quickly as we can for our citizens. And we always have to remember, we're not working for Rick Elumbaugh. We're not working for the city of Batesville. We're working for all the citizens in the city of Batesville. And they like to tell us how we do every once in a while. The other thing that I did want to mention, and this is with the brine. They also put out brine along with the sanitation department. I know Jason and Billy have been very instrumental in that, and Johnny and all the crew. So that is very much appreciated. I've gotten more compliments since we have started applying the brine on our city streets than I have in years because, guys, it works. So we get out there and we treat everything. And I don't have to call Johnny Coes and tell him it's time to put the snow plows on because he knows it. He's got that sense. He knows when it's going to snow and he knows when the ice is going to hit. And like I said, he's always prepared. So thank you. All right, the next department is one of our largest departments, and it's led by Mr. Jeff Owens, and it's our Parks Department. They stay extremely busy. I mean, a testament of it is just look at this facility right here. This thing was opened in 2017 and it still looks brand new. So thank you, Steve, and all your crew. I appreciate all you parks guys because you guys do a great job. And I can give you some numbers here. We had over 2,300 participants last year that they took part. It was either adult and youth baseball, softball, t-ball. We had 899 participants in soccer alone, just soccer. So that's one of our largest sporting events. Also, we have the aquatics facility. We have rentals. We have several rentals of the aquatic facilities. And one thing I want to do, if you guys are not members of this thing, you get a free membership. So you have a free membership to the aquatic center and anything and your siblings that live in the house. So take advantage of that if you do not have that because swimming season is coming up. They have had some challenges this year with the indoor pool. There was a leak. I know I went in there a few weeks ago and was it Mark or somebody down in that hole? I know all of you took your time. Steve, I'm not sure if you fit in that hole or not. But that hole was about 7 foot deep and about Chris Cash. Now put your earmuffs on. I want you to hear this. It was kind of scary, but they got the leak fixed. So thank you, guys. Those are just some challenges they have. Also, the golf course. I know, Randy, you guys run the golf course, and you would think that thing doesn't take a lot of maintenance, because that thing does. But I appreciate you and your guys. We don't have a lot of memberships there, but the people that do, I know they appreciate the 9-hole muni golf course. So I am glad that we have it. One of the things that is we're geared up for coming up in 25 is also our new Riverside Park project. And I greatly appreciate the chamber and the assistance that we've had, Jeff, and actually our city engineer, Damon Johnson, who we'll talk about here in just a few minutes. It's all good, Damon. Don't get nervous. But coming this year, we've been planning the event center. It's very exciting. I had the opportunity to go down last week and check out and see what the interior was looking like. So that thing is going out for bid real soon. You can already see, of course, the water department. They've got Tome is on site right there building it. And we're getting ready in the parks to build the event center, new pickleball courts, tennis courts, a bike park, a splash pad. And the first all-inclusive play that I'm very excited about. We're going to spend over $1 million on all-inclusive for our handicapped youth and adults, as well as all of our citizens. So it's going to be, I've seen renderings of it, and it's going to be very exciting, guys. And like I said, they always say you got to break a few eggs to bake a cake, and we're going to be breaking a lot of them on Riverside Park. It's basically going to be out of use for a while. But the end game is really going to be nice. And I think our citizens, as well as all of our community and surrounding counties, will greatly appreciate it. Another thing I wanted to talk about is the cemetery landscape department. That group right there, they maintain over 300 acres. They stay extremely busy. They do a lot of our entryways coming in. We could wait and let the state of Arkansas, not the state, or ADOT take care of it, but we may get it mowed once, maybe every 30 days. These guys maintain our entryway and do a wonderful job. Also, Johnny, we greatly appreciate, we are the Christmas capital of Arkansas. Now, the word is out there that we'll not have Christmas lights out there. Now, let's get rid of that rumor. There will be a Christmas light display this year. It'll be altered a little bit, but we'll have as many lights as we've always had. We'll just have a different pathway for it. So looking forward to that. That does create Johnny and his team some challenges. I know Johnny went to, we always send Johnny to the convention, and he gets to go in. Probably it's 3 or 4 times this size. I've never been to, I've always wanted to go. But he sent me some pictures of some new displays and everything that he has purchased. And so every year we try to add to that. So Johnny, appreciate you and all of your crew and everything you do. One other thing, a lot of people do not even realize, they also maintain the cemetery. That is very challenging. I've always said in the cemetery, it may take 30 minutes to dig a grave site, or it may take 12 hours because right beside it, you may hit solid rock. And if you ever hear that peck, 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 peck over here, as you do many times, it's Johnny's crew trying to dig out a grave right there. All right, now, Water Construction Department. This is ran by David Justice. David, greatly appreciate your group, your team. And let me tell you, this group, when those water lines break, like I've always said, it's kind of like the stoplights. They don't break when you want them to. They break any time of the day. And they've had to spend a lot of time out in the cold, in the frigid weather, or the extreme heat. So appreciate you guys. And last year, just for example, I could read you a lot of statistics here, but they repaired 135 water leaks. And so this is challenging to anyone. Some of these, I know they're easy to find, and I know sometimes it's like a needle in a haystack trying to find it. I recall when they had a leak over by the Sonic area right there. I think they had to dig up a street. They had to, but anyway, it was challenging, but they eventually got to, and they repaired that. And also, we have to also realize we're the oldest city in the state of Arkansas. And with that, that means we have some of the oldest infrastructure. So that water department is challenged. Also in the water department, I know David, you're excited, as well as Michael McDaniel. I'm going to move on to the next segment, and this is the water and wastewater treatment facilities. And Michael McDaniel, he is actually the wastewater treatment superintendent, also assumed the duties of water treatment superintendent in 2024. And so he has two different departments, but he's doing a fantastic job, as well as his crew that works with him. And like I mentioned earlier, 24/7, 365 days out of the year, these guys are on call because they have to make good water. And that is so important to us as well as our surrounding communities. And with that, they're going to be a new plant. Hopefully, it's going to take 3 years to build it, but looking very forward to that. Last year alone, they treated over 2 billion gallons of water. All right, now let's go ahead and go to the water administration building. Our newest employee, Mr. Clint Crane, who took the place of Mr. Nick Baxter. And by the way, Nick Baxter has a new grandbaby, or he'd probably be here today because he loves catfish. So, but congratulations to him. But Clint has hit the ground running. He's doing a good job. And one thing that Clint sent me, don't forget, we talked about the water, who we supply. We supply Cushman, Pfeiffer, and Bethesda the water. And that is very challenging as well. And we maintain all the Pfeiffer the lines. And we've even talked about, hopefully, at some point, Mayor Anderson and I at Cave City, we have talked about they have challenges with water. Sydney has challenges with water. They're probably less than a mile from water infrastructure that we could actually have a backup for them. So that is something that's hopefully in the works at some point. May happen in 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, but that's something they'll probably lean on us in the years to come. Now, next thing I'm going to talk about is the public works engineer, and that's Mr. Damon Johnson. Damon, pretty much, he supervises the entire city. He's our public works engineer. I don't care. He's working closely with Tome, our water contractor. He's working close with our Clark Construction. He's doing our event center and managing all of our new construction. So greatly appreciate all of his work. And let me tell you, he spends a lot of time in meetings, Zoom meetings. And if you probably kept up with all your hours of Zoom, gosh, it's unbelievable, because every time I go back there and want to visit with him, he's on a Zoom. He's either looking at that or he's looking at the ducks in the duckwood somewhere, but I haven't really gotten a close look. So, but I'm assuming he's on the Zoom working on all of our projects. But greatly appreciate him and his work ethic. He does a fantastic job. And he's been with us since 2007. That was actually one of my first hires. Now let's go to the office of the city clerk treasurer. And in that department, we have Jessica Davis. Jessica, she started, I think, was it June, maybe close to June of last year. She came from she was a former city clerk in Arkadelphia. She has hit the ground running as well, and she has done a fantastic job. We also have city clerk treasurer Donna Smith, deputy clerk Kim Fitzner, finance payroll Lori Perron, and accounts payable clerk. And Jennifer Corder is the mayor's assistant. And Jennifer, thank you so much. And believe me, guys, these ladies, my wife appreciates all of these ladies in the administration office because they take care of me. And so I left a few weeks ago, and they said, your office really needs, they didn't say to be clean, they were trying to be nice, but you need a kind of a facelift. I said, I don't care if you clean it, I just don't want to touch it. I came back, they had it painted, and it looks like HGTV had come in there. So they did a totally remake. So thank you so much for everything you do. And one other person, Chris, I was in the shower. I don't have you written down here on this, but I was in the shower this morning. I said, Chris Cash. I said, there's not anything in here. Chris takes care of our safety, all of our safety, and our HR. And I know that's a huge task because this time we do have turnover in our community, but Chris does a wonderful job in that capacity. Another thing I want to mention about the clerk's office, they keep the records of the city as well as performing the payroll, accounts payable, accounts receivable, and all bookkeeping records for the city. They perform numerous duties for the employees, the mayor, the council, and citizens. And I don't know if they keep up with how many calls we have coming in, but they answer calls from all of our citizens. They may want to get on the list for the leaf pickup. They may want to get on the list, or they may just be angry. But by the time they talk to these ladies right here, they have settled down, and like I said, they just do a wonderful job out there. So greatly appreciate them. Thanks, sir. Couple things, mentioned that last year, yearly totals of business in the clerk's office, there were 17 city council meetings, 2 fire pension meetings, 22 ordinances passed, 39 resolutions passed, and 26 publications. So that's just a little bit of what they do in the office. Like I said, they do numerous things for our community, and greatly appreciated as well. The airport. Do I have anybody from the airport here? I know Justin Thompson, I don't know, like I said, this is challenging for them because I know they have to man it. That is a department that, something that we have out there, the airport. What an economic win for us to have a nice airport like we do. Justin Thompson, like I said, has been leading that since 2020, does a fantastic job. And just to give you a little statistics on there, there was over 13,000 takeoffs and landing there last year. That's an average of 1,112 per month. Airport is one thing that helps support the airport is the fuel sales. They sold 142 gallons of fuel, 114,000 gallons of jet fuel, 28,000 of aviation gasoline. So, and that sales up 15% over the last 7-year average. And another thing that they do, they work very closely with the Arkansas Division of Aeronautics. They're working on a grant right now for T-hangers, getting those things completed. $930,000 with $800,000 in grants. So thank goodness for the Aeronautics Division, because they do fund us. And they do a wonderful job. Another thing that they're actually adding is a precision approach path indicator, a runway end identifier light, and this project totals about $448,000. So a big thank you to them for helping support our airport. But like I said, this is so important to our economic development in our community. We have so many folks that these are business jets that fly in. So thank you again to everything they do. Now, one of our fairly new departments that we've had the last few years is our IT department. And I think everybody, 19 years ago when I started, IT wasn't a big deal. We had maybe a computer in maybe some of their department head meetings, probably not that many. When I walked into my office 19 years ago, there was not a computer sitting on the desk. And that was the first thing former city clerk Denise Johnston said, "I have you a computer ordered." And I said, "Okay, well, you may have to teach me how to turn it on." But with that, IT department is led by David Webb, and he has a staff of 2 or 3. And you guys do a fantastic job. And it's just like our mechanics. We don't have enough of IT, but I can see that department is growing because everything that you see imaginable, from security cameras to the police car laptops, these guys have to touch. And security, I know they've actually placed cameras at Maxfield Park. And you just can't have enough cameras around. And hopefully that's going to help. As we continue, I know our new park, we're planning a camera system down there. They're working at our North Complex out there, the Terry Sims Complex. So that's going to be huge for us. And I think I mentioned the stoplights. There's going to be actually video surveillance on those as well. So those good things are coming soon. All right, now I have to be remiss if I did not mention our retirees. And I'm going to go through here, include Denise Johnston for 34 years. Denise, thank you so much for everything you have done. Go ahead and stand up, Denise. Come on. We need to applaud you. Thank you. Nick Baxter, who is not here. Like I said, he just had the grandbaby, 30 years of service. Chief I. Allen Cockrell, he was with us 8 years. He implemented the police department back, like I said, about 8 years ago. Or 9 years ago. And he had actually 38 years of service through police work. Also, Brenda Riley. Did Brenda make it? I think I called her. She probably forgot. Brenda was with us for 31 years and greatly appreciate her. Also retiring this year, only had 9 years in the administrative at the PD was Leslie Coleman and Robbie McPherson, which Robbie, I think you've changed hats, haven't you? You still here with us. All right, Robbie. All right. Keep it up. We're glad you're here. Glad you're with us. But Robbie, I think I have you down with, you had 15 years at the water treatment plant. I believe that's correct. So appreciate those years of service. And like I mentioned, I had them to stand earlier or talked about them, but Dr. Doug Matthews, he had 19 years and Chris Poole had 14 years of service. So thank you so much for that. And of course, Tommy, you retired the year before. And I can't say enough about our former council members as well as the ones we have serving today. All right, now, guys, let's get to the last paragraph in closing. I know you guys are ready. I can see a few people nodding off out there. And like I've always said, I always practice my speech in front of my golden doodle. And about after the first minute, he's rolling over on his back sleeping. So, Johnny Coles, bear with me a little bit. You're one of them. I saw you batting your eyes. So, I know you're a senior out here, but I have to admit I am older than Johnny. So, all right. In closing, I would like to thank my entire team of devoted council members who always do their best to make good decisions for all citizens of Batesville. An additional thanks to each commissioner and committee member who serve in various appointed positions. I pray for continued blessings upon our citizens, our city, our county, and the great state of Arkansas and the United States of America. Together, we will prosper and continue to build and live in the community that we can all be proud of and call it home. Thank you and God bless.